How to make Delaware more business friendly. That is on the mind of our next guest, Representative Mike Ramone, who represents the 21st District, which we should say is in Newcastle County. Let me start with the premise of an article I just read about this, and it's that isn't Delaware business friendly already?
Well, see, I think there's always challenges to what the word business friendly means. I think with the size of Delaware being such a small state and our geographical parameter of the quantity of population to our north and our south, I think we have an advantage over most of the other states to be the most business-friendly state. I think we could attract more businesses and more people to Delaware by doing some creative things to help businesses be more successful.
So you hear these big names that are considering either downsizing or moving out of Delaware,
Right.
AstraZeneca, DuPont. Are you talking about those type of companies, or are we talking about small businesses, or both?
Well, I think there's always a strategy to get a big fish, but unfortunately, I guess earlier in this term for this governor, that was tried once or twice and didn't work so well. I personally believe the Small Business Caucus's focus is to help, the smaller businesses in Delaware have a creative environment where they can grow and double their size. If every one of our small businesses in Delaware double their size, which really isn't hard for a business of 2 or 3 people to end up a business of 5 or 6, the cumulative growth of that is much more significant than any large company being wooed to come in. I also don't like the idea of trying to entice big companies to come in by incentives. We're not big enough to do that. Our advantage is to help the small companies grow, double in size, and then expand the tax base. I know you're hearing a lot right now about Delaware and our taxes.
Right.
You want more tax money, bring more people in, and more people will pay taxes.
Now, I talked to you before we went on, and you said this Small Business Caucus has been around for 8 years, and you're still talking about these problems.
Yes, that's very true. Actually, the Small Business Caucus began the year before I was elected. I got elected in '08. Brian Short, Representative Short, Brian Short, and Representative Danny Short. One's a Democrat, one's a Republican, one's from the South, one's from the North. They were the perfect guys to come together and say, let's begin a caucus that's solely focused on trying to help small businesses develop. And if you remember, around '07 till now, there's been a lot of challenges, the biggest being the ability to even get money.
But what has the caucus done? I mean, if you're still talking about these problems 8 years later, what is the caucus? What's the success of the caucus?
The biggest initiative the caucus has done is 2-3 years back, we created a bill that we were giving to the governor. The effort of the bill was to go through every single secretary's position within the government and find out what could be done to make it more business friendly. We went to all the chambers, to all the small business people, and says, what in DelDOT, DENREC, what in there is redundant and difficult for you to be able to navigate your business? The governor then did a town hall meeting throughout the state, and we came up with some very significant suggestions. That was phase 1. Because the governor took on the initiative, we didn't drop the bill, but we used the bill to entice movement with the initiative. Step 2 needs to be, now those secretary cabinet positions need to look at each other and see where the redundancies are. Is DelDOT consistent with DENREC? You do everything you need to keep DENREC heavy, and then suddenly you have a DelDOT problem. You take care of DelDOT, and then there's another problem. So to have that lateral integration and consolidation of regulations and rules really makes streamlining for businesses to get into business, continue to run their businesses, and then the most important part of it, be successful in that business, is more enhanced. So the last piece of that trifecta, so to speak, would be, to consolidate each one of the secretary positions. Secondarily, go from secretary position to secretary position and see where there's redundancy. Third is go from municipality to state to federal government and reduce all those. Because you could be doing something to get a license in the state
and it would cost the state less also.
It actually would make the amount of labor involved to enable businesses to be successful, it would reduce it significantly. And again, it streamlines businesses' ability to open, get in business. If I own fitness centers, I know a lot about fitness centers. I don't know a lot about getting licenses and all the stuff in the government.
Big boulder to push up a bureaucratic hill, but Mike Ramone,
we're trying.
Good luck to you.
Thank
you so much for coming in. Mike Ramone, who represents the 21st District in Newcastle County. And that is the Delaware Way for this week. I'm Larry Menti. Stick around for another thing.